Hey there, and welcome to HisTime365. I'm so glad you're here for day 66 of our 365-day journey through the Bible. Today, we'll look at Judges 1 through 4, and I'll walk you through what happens, what it means, and why it matters. I'll share a summary and some insights to help you see the big picture and connect with the heart of the scripture. During your quiet time, I encourage you to read today's lesson in a Bible translation that speaks to you best. Now, grab a quiet moment, take a deep breath, and let's spend a few minutes giving God His time. The cycle of struggle and deliverance. Lessons from Judges 1 through 4. Have you ever felt like you were caught in a cycle that you just couldn't break? The book of Judges, especially chapters 1 through 4, paints a vivid picture of a people who faced similar challenges. It's a powerful reminder of how easy it is to stray from the right path and how vital it is to respond to our struggles with faith and courage. In Judges 1, we see the Israelites taking the land promised to them, but they don't quite finish the job. They conquer many places, but fail to drive out all the inhabitants, leading to a mixed legacy. The text opens with a sense of hope as the Israelites ask God for guidance on who should lead them against the Canaanites. Judah, one of the tribes, steps up and successfully battles against their foes with the help of Simeon. However, the success is marred by their inability to fully remove the Canaanites from their land. The text mentions that they could not drive out the inhabitants in Judges 1:19 in several cities. This sets the stage for the struggles to come, as the remaining Canaanites would later become thorns in the side of Israel. Following this, we see the tribes of Ephraim, Zebulun, and Manasseh also encountering victories, but not without their failures. The chapter closes with the somber note that the tribes of Dan and others were unable to secure their inheritance and were forced to live among the Canaanites. This theme of not fully committing to God's commands resonates deeply today. For example, in our work lives, we might start a project with enthusiasm but lose focus, leaving it half-finished. Or in our families, we might set goals for communication or bonding, but find ourselves distracted by screens and busy schedules, letting those aspirations slip away. Judges 2 takes a darker turn, presenting the consequences of the Israelites' actions. An angel of the Lord visits and reminds them of their covenant with God, warning them that their disobedience would bring trouble. The people weep and offer sacrifices, but it's not long before they revert to their old ways. This pattern of turning away from God, facing consequences, and then crying out for help repeats itself throughout Judges. This cycle is not so different from how we might react when we face struggles in our own lives. For instance, when we experience stress or anxiety, we might initially turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms like binge-watching TV or scrolling through social media, only to find ourselves feeling worse. It's a cycle that can be hard to break without intentionality and support. In Judges 3, the narrative shifts as we are introduced to the first of the judges, Othniel, who leads the Israelites against their oppressors. His victory brings peace for a time, but again, their faith fades and they fall into sin. This chapter introduces a crucial pattern. God raises up a leader to deliver the people when they cry out for help. This is a beautiful reminder that God is always ready to respond to our cries, even when we stray. In our own lives, we can find ourselves in moments of despair, feeling overwhelmed by our circumstances. But just like the Israelites, when we seek help, whether through prayer, community, or professional support, deliverance can come. Next, we meet Ehud, another judge who delivers Israel from the Moabites. His story is quite unique. He is left-handed, which plays a crucial role in how he defeats the Moabite king, Eglon. Ehud cleverly hides a sword and manages to put an end to Eglon, leading to a successful uprising against the Moabites. His story is one of using what makes him different to achieve victory. In our experiences, we might feel that our unique traits or struggles are weaknesses, but often they can be our greatest strength. For example, you might feel that your introversion holds you back in social situations, but it could allow you to listen deeply and connect meaningfully with others. The chapter wraps up with the Israelites enjoying peace for 80 years, only for them to forget their deliverance once again. This cycle of forgetting and remembering can be reflected in our own lives too. Just think about how easy it is to overlook the lessons learned after overcoming a difficult time. In our finances, for instance, we might finally get out of debt only to fall back into old spending habits when we feel secure again. Or in our mental health journeys, we might ignore the self-care practices that helped us during tough times, leading to burnout. Finally, in Judges 4, we are introduced to Deborah, a prophetess and the only female judge mentioned in the book. Her leadership is significant as she calls upon Barak to lead the Israelites into battle against Sisera, the commander of the Canaanite army. Barak shows reluctance, insisting that he will only go if Deborah accompanies him. Deborah's response shows her strength and faith. "I will surely go with thee," Judges 4:9. This moment emphasizes the importance of collaboration and support in our endeavors. In our modern lives, we often try to do things alone, whether it's tackling a work project or dealing with family issues. But Deborah's presence reminds us that seeking support and guidance can lead to greater victories. As the battle unfolds, God grants Israel victory over Sisera's army, but Sisera escapes and seeks refuge in the tent of Jael, who ultimately puts an end to him. This unexpected turn of events highlights how God can use anyone, regardless of gender or status, to accomplish His purposes. It's a powerful reminder that we should never underestimate the impact we can have, no matter our circumstances. The story of Judges 1 through 4 teaches us about the cyclical nature of human behavior, how we can easily forget our commitments and fall into patterns of disobedience, but it also shows the unchanging nature of God's willingness to save us when we call out to Him. Just as the Israelites experienced struggles, so do we, but it's essential to remember that there is always hope for deliverance if we are willing to seek it. So, when you find yourself in a cycle of struggle, remember that change is always possible, and reaching out for help can lead to new beginnings. Thanks so much for joining me today for HisTime365. Remember, today's reading is Judges 1 through 4, so be sure to spend some time with those verses during your quiet time. Tomorrow, we'll be diving into Judges 5 through 7, so feel free to read ahead if you'd like to prepare. If you enjoyed this time together, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so that you never miss a day on this journey. I'll see you back right here tomorrow for day 67. Until then, stay encouraged and thank you for giving God His time.